What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Art of War. We have an exciting video for you today as we are going to discuss the brand new Salamanders Detachment, Forgefather's Anvil, and Mr. Vulkan He'stan, who got an updated data sheet. So it's Salamander Day.
It is Salamander Day. It is hype for the Green Boys. I'm really excited for this. I'm really glad that they're giving a little bit of love to the other chapters. We saw that a lot in 8th and 9th edition when you had individual codex supplements, and a lot of players of those factions have been a little bit sad about how Ultramarines are the best one all edition long. Which I don't really mind, but I gotta say, I am excited that they're giving love to other chapters because it does potentially introduce more variety into Marines, something I feel is actually lacking a little bit at the moment. So very excited for this direction they're taking and for all of these new Space Marine models.
Absolutely. If you're joining us, please do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. All of that massively helps us grow. In addition, leave a comment below letting us know what you think of the Salamander rules. How excited are you? We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to see more content about Salamanders, potentially check out The Worm at theworm.vhx.tv. There's a 3-day free trial, and you'll also get access to our international Discord community where there's Marine talk 24/7.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and dive into these rules, shall we? So let's start off with the datasheet. We have a new Vulkan He'stan model, and he has come with an updated datasheet. I'll speed through it because honestly, not that much has changed. So I did try to comb through this pretty thoroughly so that I could catch the changes though. Vulkan is still a Space Marine captain. He is T4, 2-up save, 4-up invuln, 5 wounds, leadership 6, OC1, move to 6. He is still a Space Marine captain. This is identical to before. He still is a leader with a 6 of Feel No Pain. Identical to before. His weapons have changed slightly. His flamer, the Gauntlet of the Forge, is D6 shots of 611, 12 inches, ignores cover, pistol torrent. So he basically just has like a strength 6 heavy flamer that's also a pistol. It's a good flamer. This used to be D6 plus 3 shots. It lost 3 shots, gained pistol. I don't mind gaining pistol. Losing 3 shots definitely curbs the reliability of the weapon and its ability to wipe out an elf squad, which was kind of what I liked about it before.
For sure.
Not bad.
It's just going to be very inconsistent now, so you're never relying on it. It's a chip off a wound or two.
Yeah, not a big deal though. His melee weapon is Spear of Vulkan. Go figure. He has 6 attacks, strength 6, AP 2 damage 2, weapon skill 2. That is the same as before, but he has picked up devastating wounds, which is a very good rule to have. You don't mind having devastating wounds on top of that. That'll just help his combat output a little bit.
Not gonna lie, I wish he was flat 3 here. I thought a lot of the best leaders in the game kind of get it. It's the Spear of Vulkan. I mean, what's more tough than Vulkan?
Yeah, to be clear, this is not the Spear of Vulkan He'stan. This is the Spear of Vulkan the Primarch.
The guy.
This is Vulkan's spear, right? You know, it's like fealty for the lion. Like this is Vulkan's weapon, but it is the Spear of Vulkan when he's carried by his son. It's 62. Okay. His 2 rules are actually unchanged. I'll go through them though because they are pretty cool. Forgefather. In your shooting phase, select an enemy unit that is visible and within 24 inches to this model, and all Adeptus Astartes models in your army reroll wounds against it with weapons that have either Torrent or Melta. This is a good rule.
Yeah, it is.
No problem. Some of these weapons end up being twin-linked anyways, and so you have to kind of work a little bit to pick the right models to benefit from it, but they are there. You can build around it, and so Vulkan was and is a great inclusion for a Salamander of the army. He's a big part of the appeal. Second is Seeker of the Unfound. Again, same rule as before. The first time this model is set up on the battlefield, select an objective marker on the battlefield. And while he's within range of it, he has an OC characteristic of 10 and a 4-up Feel No Pain and a leadership characteristic of 5+.
Baby Norn.
Dude, he's a baby Norn. Like, it's honestly dope. Like, Vulkan He'stan picks his objective and he holds it. I love that for Vulkan. He's super cool. He loves his objective. Great character before, great character now. Ultimately, he did not change that much. We don't see any changes in his points cost, so I will assume he has the same cost as before. Off memory, he was like 95. He's very reasonably costed for what he is. He gives a good buff to your army that you have to build around, but that it would be fluffy to do so, and it's not a big detriment. There are enough Melta weapons that you can build around it without feeling like an inconvenience. He is a good combat character on his own, not great, but good. And he's very useful for his objective utility. Ultimately, no complaints at all. Vulkan He'stan is just pretty good.
If you like Salamanders, you're going to definitely be running him.
Yes.
So why don't we dive in and look at their detachment?
Yeah, so this new detachment is Forgefather's Seekers. I'll read through this whole thing, but parts of it are going to sound familiar. Now, previously, we would reference the Firestorm as the most Salamander-oriented detachment, but this is a Salamander detachment. Vulkan's quest is the detachment rule. Interesting. Ranged weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes models from your army have the assault ability, and each time they make an attack against something within 12 inches, they add one of the strength characteristics. This sounds...
Where have you seen this?
Suspiciously the same as Firestorm. It's the exact same rule as Firestorm. Fair play GW, not a bad rule. Assault, +1 strength, pretty cool. There is a second rule. If your army includes Vulkan He'stan, during your turn, each Infernus squad unit from your army is eligible to do one of the following. It's able to perform an action in a turn in which it advanced, or shoot in a turn in which it started to perform an action. So notably, it cannot advance action shoot, but it could advance action or it could normal move shoot action. This is Infernus squads. Oh, you know what? That actually does remind me. There is an FAQ that gave Vulkan a rule that made Infernus Marines OC2. That is not on his newest data sheet. If they don't delete the FAQ, it will continue to apply. Yep. I don't know what their plan is there.
And that's in the balanced data slate.
Yeah, the next time the balanced data slate updates, we'll have more clues on that. I don't know if they're going to remove that line or leave it there. But for now, they would theoretically still get it.
This is definitely more relevant than OC2, I would say.
This is better than OC2. So if they cut OC2 and replaced it with this, I wouldn't be mad, honestly. This would help.
But frankly, they probably could have both, and it's totally cool because you're running Vulkan.
Yeah, you're running Vulkan, and you're running Infernus Marines, which are, they're there. Yeah, I mean, actually, shooting Infernus squads is cool. I don't think it's, like, that big a deal. I'm still going to take 0. But, yeah, you know, I'm here.
There's only so much you can do, John.
It's just AP 0, man. Just rerolling wounds with AP 0 flames is cool, but I'm just like, not that excited about it. But maybe there's a place for it. So maybe this would be a good time to bust out the Infernus Marines again and try it out. So far, it's Firestorm with a buff. But let's go to the enhancements. Immolator. This one is new. Adeptus Astartes model only. Add one of the attacks characteristic of all torrent weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit. That's kind of cool. There's a few characters that could join Infernus Marines where you could max get +10. Or I think what's honestly better is to maybe attach a captain to an aggressor squad and say that you're going to get +6 shots, which isn't that many, but it makes your flamers D6 +2 each because aggressor flamers are D6 +1 at the moment. And then they're twin linked. They don't need Vulcans. They are good to a different target from Vulkan, and they get +1 AP against the closest target. And like that's actually pretty good. And you have a captain for a free strat, which is good. So ultimately, I think Immolator is actually pretty strong. Good enhancement. War Tempered Artifice. This one is a rerun. +3 strength and melee for an Adeptus Astartes infantry. Perfectly reasonable. I don't mind it. It's not that exciting. Next, Forged in Battle. Once per player turn, while the bearer is leading a unit, after you make a hit roll or a saving throw for a model in the unit, you can change it to an unmodified 6. It is nice that this is once per turn and a model in the unit, so it can be a save on the guys he's leading, or it can be a hit roll on the guys he's leading.
Yeah, you don't have to wait till you get down to the character.
Where I've traditionally liked this best is on something with lethal hits, because it's not wound roll, it's only hit roll, so something with lethal or sustained. For my money, an Eradicator squad with an Apothecary Biologist, lethal Eradicators that reroll hits, you really get to a point where you roll like 8 dice to hit, rerolling misses, you only miss 1 or 2. And then that immediately translates to an extra wound. That's actually pretty nice. And then in their turn, it's a save. Or it's an Overwatch that's actually pretty good because you're, again, lethal end of rerolling and flipping. And that's quite good. So strong still for Forged in Battle. Still good. Next, Adamantine Mantle. Adeptus Astartes model only. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, subtract 1 from the damage. And if that is a Melta or a torrent weapon, change the damage to 1 instead.
Very cute.
Very cool. Yeah, it's good. You like to put this on like a solo Gravis captain, or just to like walk around and be thick and be like, yeah, I'm half damage and -1 damage, and your Melta weapon's just 1. It's like, oh, okay, buddy.
Sir, please stop with the durability.
Yeah, I know he's so ultimately solid enhancements. Only one of them is new, but Immolator is quite nice. I'm happy to see that. And then we go to the stratagems here. 4 of these are reruns, so I'm probably going to go through those ones pretty quickly. Armor of Contempt. Do you want to explain that one?
Well, it's the reduction of AP, but the important thing here is that a lot of the more recent Astartes codexes and supplements have not had Armor of Contempt, and certainly not in every detachment, which is very interesting, and they have maintained it here.
They have maintained it here. Then we have Crucible of Battle. 1 CP in your shooting or fight phase. 1 Adeptus Astartes infantry unit from your army that has not been selected to activate yet. It gets +1 to wound against the closest target within 6 inches. Technically works in combat, although usually the thing you're hitting is the closest target, so that's pretty easy. And in shooting, just get within 6, shoot the closest thing, +1 to wound. 1 CP +1 to wound with some hoops is still quite strong. It really helps the damage. It's infantry only, but it's generally useful, so I have 0 complaints about this. Is in Firestorm, is good here. Wrathful Inferno, 1 CP. This one is new. In your movement phase, 1 Adeptus Astartes infantry unit that has just fallen back gets to fall back and shoot.
Very good.
Useful. I wish it was fall back, shoot, and charge.
Yeah, most of them are.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, in the context of Space Marines who have many ways to fall back and do stuff, this is better than not having it, but I would still, I'm a little greedy.
Yeah.
But this is really shooting based because it's fall back and shoot, advance and shoot. So it's really encouraging you to take the shooting over the melee here.
Really, really good on Eradicators, keeping them fighting.
That is very good on Eradicators, so I quite like Eradicators here. The next one is 2 command points for Immolation Protocols. In your shooting phase, 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that has not been selected to shoots phase, all of its torrent weapons get dead wounds. 2 CP, but this is good, remembering that aggressors are twin-linked.
Furnace Marines.
And Vulkan can give reroll wounds to a thing. There is no cap on the number of mortals caused by this. So if you shoot, theoretically, 10 Infernus Marines at your opponent, and you just have, you cost 2 CP, but you have reroll wounds from Vulkan, that's like 35 shots on average. I'll admit, that's like 10 or 11 mortals to anything in the game.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. 2 CP is rough, but like, that's pretty good. So, if you got the CP for it, that's kind of spicy. Next up is Burning Vengeance. This is another repeat. And this is 1 CP. In your opponent's shooting phase after an enemy unit has shot, you pick a transport. So we're kind of keeping the transport theme for exactly 1 stratagem. That was the target of one of those attacks. And 1 unit embarked in that transport can disembark and then shoot as if it were your shooting phase, but must target the unit that shot you as part of it. Very weird, very niche. Kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. Your opponent steps up to try and kill your repulsor and Eradicators pop out. You're like, oh god, whoops.
That could be dangerous. So your vehicle does have to survive, but could be useful.
I believe in myself.
I believe too. And then our final one is 1 CP Blazing Earth. This is the second new stratagem here. Start of the opponent's charge phase, you pick 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army equipped with a torrent weapon, and you select an enemy unit within 12 inches and visible. And until the end of the phase, each time that unit declares a charge, subtract 2 from the charge roll. 1, this is not cumulative with other negative modifiers. 2, this excludes monsters, vehicles, and units with fly.
Did we miss anything to exclude?
I think this works on Death Shrouds.
Units behind a wall.
Yeah, sorry. Units within 12 and visible of the torrent weapon. Not a monster, not a vehicle, not fly.
I don't want this stratagem to do pretty much anything.
Oh my god.
Okay, we put too many hoops on this one.
I would just Overwatch. Like, just Overwatch.
Let's just kill it. Let's not worry about the debuff.
Oh.
That's kind of what 40k is about, really, is mostly these debuffs are not that impactful. Terrain density is pretty high nowadays.
Yeah.
So
good,
it's better just to kill your opponent's units if you can, instead of trying to debuff it.
So that's the detachment. I have a low opinion of Firestorm, and this is 75% Firestorm. The Infernus Marine buff is cool. You probably do take some. I will admit, I am not impressed really with the changes made. Blazing Earth, I don't care. Wrathful Inferno, not bad. That's the fallback and shoot. Yeah, Wrathful Inferno is fallback and shoot, by the way.
It's wrathful.
I don't understand that.
You're about to face the Inferno, John.
Yeah, but like 1 CP fallback and shoot for infantry is nice. Ultimately, though, like, you're still a fast army that gets close to people and then doesn't want to be close to them anymore. Like, you have fun after, for your turn, to your opponent's turn, then you fire Overwatch. After that, you are no longer, you're just a Space Marine army that put the more fragile Space Marine units right next to them.
That's the big thing that's missing here, honestly. When I think of Salamanders, I think of durability. I think of defense. I think of tough things, and none of that is here. Melta and flamer weapons, 100%.
Sweet, love that.
But the durability aspect of the army, I'm not seeing it, and so, you know, ultimately you're competing with other Space Marine armies that do damage, but also have additional tricks and defense.
Yeah, there's not enough tricks for me to not have defense and just get close
Too
to
conditional.
Yeah, and I also just really struggle with the idea that this army is about delivering you to point-blank range, because it is encouraging you to take point-blank Melta, point-blank Flamer, advance and shoot, get within a close range, but for your rules and for your weapons, and then you're supposed to be like using like stratagems that rely on you being very close to the opponent. But then you're bad in combat. Then you're just a Marine army in combat that does not want to be in combat. Fallback and shoot really helps. I want to emphasize, this is much better than Firestorm. I have a problem though. Vulkan is cool. I think he got slightly nerfed. I would rather have 3 shots on the Flamer than Dead Wounds, and like nothing else really matters. But it's not a big deal. Vulkan was very good, is very good. I would just rather run Vulkan a different detachment. I'd rather have fallback, shoot, and charge.
Stormlance.
Gladius is fallback and charge, or shoot and charge. Stormlance is fallback and charge. I would rather be in Stormlance, unironically, because Stormlance actually encourages you to deliver your Melta weapons up close. Because what I want is a Stormhaven dropping off 10 Melta Devastators. That's what I want. Or like Rhinos dropping off that and like going fast and doing that.
Classic Marine problem of you have a lot of different options, and frankly 2 of them are pretty much head and shoulders above everything else. And we've seen this with some of the recent books like Black Templars. You look at the suite of rules you get in Gladius or Stormlance, it's hard to justify other options, frankly, and I think Marines will continue to suffer this way.
I think so. So this is only the first of the detachments. I'm very excited. I really like this as a direction. I think this is the right way to do it. So ultimately, positive. I love Vulkan. Vulkan is still very, very good. Salamanders are a very valid way to play. I don't think that Vulkan not changing means they don't pass Ultramarines. This detachment does not pass Gladius Stormlance. And so you've improved like one of the 2 pieces of the how do I make an army that's not Ultramarine, Gladius, or Stormlance, but like relevant for Space Marines. You've improved the pieces without crossing the bar, is where we're at right now. Now, there's a lot more Space Marine characters, so if they also get their own detachments similar to this, there's a lot of room for that. I'm super excited to see if this trend continues, where if you just take Raven Guard, you change 2 parts of Vanguard Spearhead, that could bring Vanguard back. Because like Raven Guard's cool, and they get a new character, so there's room for like an entirely new dimension. White Scars, same thing. Stormlance is a good detachment. It's at its best for the Ultramarines, but a new character and some slight tweaks to the detachment really could change that and make it significant.
I think really what is missing here is a second rule for Salamanders that also elevates the whole army. I think they were missing just a second thing. The Infernus Marine upgrade is cute. That's not justifying this. We need a big rule that's like, wow, okay, this is cool. So I think that's what's missing, and hopefully we'll see it in the other detachments that come out. But otherwise, let us know if you agree, disagree with us. If you're excited to play the Salamanders detachment, we'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your support. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. All of that massively helps us grow the channel. And we'll see you soon for more content. So long for now.
Bye-bye.